G'day guys, Simon and Heath from You&Me Personalised Property Services. We are coming back to you to talk about more client wins. We love winning, one of our core values. We're persistent and we operate with the utmost of integrity. And one thing that we're incredibly proud about with this client win is when people deal with a real estate agent, whether it be a buyer's agent or a selling agent, the stats show that they only ever deal with that agent once. And that's based on not the fact that they're only buying or selling a property once, it's based on the experience, and it doesn't leave them with a good experience. We're really proud, really privileged, really honoured to be able to say that when our clients use our services, they more or less become a client for life.
Absolutely.
And this is a genuine recent example of a client that came back to us for the third time in an 18-month period. So they'd already bought 2 properties off us in the last 18 months, and they've just come back and secured their third purchase within an 18-month period. Something we're both really pleased about. Heath, you were able to put this one together. Lots of moving parts in this deal. Talk everyone through how you were able to get this one.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. So we had a client brief set up in a cafe, couple of coffees and a hot chocolate.
Yep, Heath loves his hot chocolates and his marshmallows.
And we put a client brief together under a deep dive session. We went away, we searched a few suburbs because we weren't 100% set on a particular suburb.
They wanted to see value for money, didn't they?
Correct.
So it was something we don't normally do.
Yep.
But we gave them a lot of different suburbs.
Yep.
And a few different price points too.
Yep. But obviously knowing the client as much as we do, we knew that there was a particular suburb that we thought that they might be drawn to more. Their daughter's there, they're only 15 minutes away themselves.
So it's something they know, they're comfortable with.
Yeah, absolutely. So comfort's a big factor. Anyway, what we did was we searched, I went to 6 home opens in that suburb. The clients come along. With our clients, they can either have as much to do or as little as possible with the transaction.
This particular client loves being involved.
Yep, absolutely.
Which is great, and he's great value, and so is his wife, so we love having him involved.
Yep, and Sue, they're great. And what we found that really quickly were that out of the 6, there were 3 that ticked boxes, majority boxes. Obviously, you're not going to get all. And the other 3, Ian's what, 6'4"?
Oh, I reckon he's like 6'7". He's
maybe
huge.
But he's big.
Maybe he's 6'4", and I'm exaggerating, but he's a lot bigger than us.
Yeah, he's a lot bigger. And what we found really quickly were that the early 2000s built homes that we were looking at were very closed off, very sectioned off, so not open plan living. So Ian likes open plan living. He's a bit of a gentle giant, and 3 of those tick the boxes. Now, one of those properties we went to, it was actually the last one we went to, was being sold by the owner herself. We
love this.
Yep. So what that tells me straight away is we already had leverage through our negotiating skills. What we also found
leverage where though? Leverage how?
Leverage to the fact that, you know, I've been in the game 14 years, you've been in the game 26 years.
Probably the first or second time that owner would have been selling a home.
Yep. So from little chats, she already had a home. This was they were going to move into this one. They decided for one reason or another, because I think majority of the reason were the tenants in there weren't a good experience, and we talk about experience. It wasn't a good experience for them. They had to fix up a few things, and they didn't want to either rent their house out that they live in at the moment, and they certainly didn't want to re-rent this one out. So they had a decision to make, and they made the decision that they were going to sell the investment off.
And the other thing where I felt we had leverage was the fact that by selling it as a private owner, their exposure to the market was a lot less than other comparable properties. And the fact that they weren't dealing with an agent cut out agent fees as well, which gave us leverage on
Definitely. So I mean, the marketing wasn't as good as what an agent would do generally, and that's that's guys why you get a professional. The marketing wasn't as good. The negotiating skills weren't as good. We ascertained really quickly, so it was offers over 585. I had a chat with the owner, and they were expecting very close to 600.
And I mean, next door neighbour's house?
I was going to say, I didn't find that was out of reality or out of touch, because the one next door, very similar property, and the specs go, the one we actually purchased, 698 square metres of land, corner block. 224 square metres internally. The next door neighbour, 602 square metres land, and 234, so 10 square metres bigger internally.
So almost 100 square metres smaller land,
inland,
where all the value is, and only 10 square metres larger internally.
Exactly.
And when did that sell?
So that sold December last year.
So 6 months earlier.
Yep, 6 months earlier. The market's got better,
and
it sold for $606,600.
So every day of the week, that property should have been selling north of 605,000.
Exactly.
Every day of the week.
I was thinking somewhere around the 615 would be reality.
615 to 620 straight away.
Would have been reality.
And then other properties that were comparable?
Yep, so we had an exact comparable property, which the owner mentioned at the time. You know, this property is for sale. It offers over 625,000. It's a pretty much replica of my house internally, and she was right. 100% right, but I'm never going to tell her that. So what I done was started talking about how this other property is a bit newer, how it's a bit bigger, how this and how that, it's in a better location. So already doubt was planted in her mind.
The seed of doubt was planted in her mind.
But I knew after quick chats with Ian and Sue, our clients, that they really liked it. That was their number one preference of the 6 in the suburb. So already we established that they wanted to be in the suburb. Their daughter's in the suburb already, and they're 15 minutes away.
The clients loved the floor plan.
They loved the floor plan, open plan living. The backyard space was deeper than the previous.
And the other big one, and this is a huge one, is they were buying the home for the potential of doing a major renovation in like 5 to 10 years time. Now, the other home that was asking more than 625, it was 5 years older, but the reality is in 5 to 10 years time, they're both getting the same renovation. The exact same renovation.
Exactly.
So they were getting a I guess not a budget buy, but they were getting a discount.
And to be honest with you, you know, if we were honest, you know, Ian and Sue were bringing their son into the house to rent. So from the horse's mouth, well, we're not going to do anything to this property. So they weren't looking to renovate. So we're not looking for a property that's already renovated because they didn't want that.
But they wanted it livable?
Livable, and it was fantastic. It was an original condition, great condition, nothing wrong with it.
No, it was beautiful. And so,
we went
when
away.
they're looking at it, they know. The comparable properties they're asking over 625. Next door, which wasn't a corner block, smaller land, sold for 606,000. We're dealing with an owner that's selling them by themselves, so they don't have to worry about agent fees, which takes out 2 to 3% depending on what agent you go for. So immediately you're seeing value, knowing that it has to be, the house should be selling with a 6 at the front. If they're asking it over 585, which is bloody really good, great point. Where did you get the deal done?
Okay, so I spoke to Ian out the front of the house. He said, mate, call her up on your way home, see what you can do. So he didn't give me commitment, but he said, see what you can do. I really like that property. It ticks the boxes. I went, had a chat to the owner of the property, and I said, listen, you know, it is our number one property of the day, but at what price? She goes, oh gosh, I don't know. This is the first I've done this. I said, well, throw me a number. She goes, oh, I don't know. I said, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw you a number. So I went in, ridiculously low. I said, $555,000. She goes, no way. I said, okay, well, now it's your turn. She goes, oh, I've got to speak to my husband. I said, listen, we've got another 2 properties we're going to put an offer in. We need some sort of commitment. I need something to go back to my clients with. She come back and said, well, and this is how I found out, we really want close to that 600, but if you get them to 585, we can do a deal. I said, not a worry, I'll have a chat to my owner.
Buyer?
Our clients. Come back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Long story short, we ended up getting the property, $580,000 cash deal with a few clauses involved.
Just your standard building, pest, gas, plumbing, electrical. And short settlement. How was
28 days.
28 days settlement. Third purchase, just an awesome win. We know our clients have got at least 25 grand equity, being conservative, with probably up to 40 grand equity in that purchase. Their son is going to have a place to live in, which by Ian's accounts it won't be kept very well, but it will be in perfect condition for them to renovate in 5 years.
So a win's a win.
A win's a win.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, if you want to get in contact, if you want to learn more stories, more advice, anything at all.
See how we can help you.
Yeah.
Create your own story.
Get in contact with us. Until then, happy investing.